Hi, this is Praios and I'm a professional gambler. And today we want to learn a simple trick which made Black Rain 79 Poker winning Skyrock. So yeah, the title is of the video we're gonna analyze today is Simple Poker Tricks Skyrocketed My Winnings. And I'm very excited to learn more about that. And I hope this is not, some of these last videos were very clickbaity and I got very tilted as I watched them because it was something like these 5 tips pros don't want you to know, and it was just all bullshit, and I hope he's getting better and this now makes sense. If not, you might not be able to watch his videos anymore. But yeah, thanks anyways. Let's see how he did in this video because yeah, we don't know what will happen later. I didn't watch it yet. So let's hope that this is a good one and we will all learn from his great tips. So let's get into it. And yeah, by the way, what made my winning skyrocket is using these software. So either Holdem Manager or Pokertracker. Yeah, I also got them linked in my about page of Twitch. And if you watch it on YouTube, I will also put my affiliate links below. The price will stay the same, but yeah, I will earn some bucks. So if you want to get good at poker, I highly recommend these software. And as well, solvers for PLO. This is PLO Trainer, which I use most of the time. And there's also another product that's also great, and that would be PLO Vision. And yeah, you can also sign up for Trainingsites, which is a PLO Mastermind, or Run at Once. One is from Jay Nendes and the other one is from Phil Galfond. Highly recommend these resources. But yeah, after this, now let's get into the video. So, the play button.
What's up guys, Nathan here. Today I want to share with you the simple poker strategy that skyrocketed my poker winnings, and I think it will for you too. Alright, so this all boils down to a 3-step process for me, and I'm going to break it down for you in this video step by step, 1, 2, 3, so let's jump right into it. Step number 1. We need to understand where the money comes from in poker. This is a big mistake that I find a lot of people making these days, is they kind of get confused about where the profit actually comes from in poker. Let's talk about where it doesn't come from first. It doesn't come from tight, regular play.
Okay, he said simple trick, so far it's very basic. But probably true, didn't read through all that yet.
It doesn't come from those guys that are sitting around waiting for their aces and their kings and trying to set mine you and all that stuff. The money doesn't come from them. They don't make big fundamental mistakes. They're only in there when they have a really strong...
Oh, I really like political correct term recreational player instead of fish. I use fish most of the time myself, but yeah, recreational player is what most people use nowadays. And yeah, completely true, although it's not true for everyone. I also made a lot of money from the regulars, and yeah, especially in heads-up poker, some of the regs have some major leaks, and if you exploit them, you could also make a lot of money from them, especially if you play a fish. He usually is broke after a few hands, or let's say like 100-200 hands in. He's either hit and running or he is broke, while from a regular who might also have an ego problem, so he thinks that he's better than you, when in reality you are way better, he can lose a lot more money to you. So that is not entirely clear, but yeah, I'm also on the same page with him because I think yeah, the easiest and best way to make money in poker is from the fish, and I also did not go after the regulars that much, but yeah, you can also make money from regulars, but fish is a way easier way to go. Or political correct term, recreational player.
Hand, and when they don't have a good hand, they just fold. So they're not making a lot of big mistakes, therefore they're not going to hand you a lot of money. The money in poker, the profit from poker, also does not come from strong, tricky players. You know, those loose and aggressive regulars that you're probably familiar with, the tight and aggressive players, all of the good players that you've seen on YouTube videos and on TV at the final table and so on. Guys, the profit does not come from good, solid, advanced level poker players like that, because they're good poker players. They don't make a lot of mistakes. So where does the money come from in poker? Well, you already guessed it. It comes from the fish. The politically correct term, of course, these days, recreational poker players. I kind of use them interchangeably. Maybe I'm not so politically correct yet.
He could also improve his videos a lot by having a green screen and then edit in these things behind and not just use a PowerPoint presentation. But it takes some time to do it, but this will push his video quality to the next level.
But guys, honestly, you can just go ahead and check your Pokertracker database. I've used this program for 10 years, talk about it all the time. There's links in the description below, and you can go see the data for yourself.
He was also making an advertisement for this one too, but use my link, not his.
If you play online poker, that is. You can go see who are the players that are losing the most, who are you winning the most against, and the evidence is clear. It's in your face. You can't deny it. You get to see for yourself where the vast majority of your profit comes from. All right, so now that we've understood that, let's move on to step number 2. So now that we...
By the way, you could also make a lot of money from regulars, especially if you play the same guys over and over again. And this happens if you reach certain level of stakes. I mean, I would say even at 50 cent, $1, you play against the same guys a lot. And that's why it makes a lot of sense to analyze their playstyle off the table. Then you could make the correct adjustments against them and also crush the regulars. So if you want to boost your win rate a lot, this is a way to go.
Know where the money comes from in poker. What do we want to do? We want to make sure that one of these players, recreational players, fish, is always at our table at all times. I should have put it in here, but if you're using a Pokertracker HUD, for example, look for players, and you're playing online poker, look for players who have a VPIP of 40% or more. Basically what that means in...
I would say in PLO it should be even 50% or more for most players. Some even play quite okayish with 40% VPIP, but yeah, 50% is the threshold for me for Pot Limit Omaha. But yeah, for No Limit Hold'em, 40% sounds reasonable. And yeah, I would also make some more comments to the Jesus seed. I was very, what is a correct word? Yeah, behaving like a predator very often. Also got a lot of critic. Maybe the recs were just very tilted because I do that. If the table is not full and the Jesus seat is open, I often change my seat to get a better position on the fish. And if poker is for you, like for me, just making money and you don't care what other people think, do change your seat when you get the chance to improve your position a lot. By the way, if you don't have the Jesus seat, aka you are in position on the fish, then almost all seats are equally good, only if you are out of position to the fish. This is by far the worst, but the other ones are all okay-ish. I mean, if you are like... How do I explain this? We need a table, but not sure if I can find them in a short amount of time. Let's see if you can find them. I want to explain what seats are good and bad. So let's do this. Poker online table. Just trying to find a picture right now. Ugh. UTG in poker. Maybe this gets us a good result. Oh, we got 10-handed tables. What the fuck? Give me a 6-handed one, please. Then we can finally... Okay, I found something. Let's just use this one. You all see it. So let's see, the fish is in the big blind. Then the best position obviously is when you would be on this seat, which I now mark with my mouse. But even if you are on the button, it's still fine, because when the fish is in the blinds, you will have a good position at least twice. So that's not too bad, because you will play most of your hands from late position. I think the second worst position would be if you are in the cutoff, in my opinion. The worst one would be, the fish still is in the big blind. The worst position is small blind. The second worst position is cutoff. Button and middle position are almost equal. And yeah, obviously best position would be early position. I mean, yeah, okay, I think you now got what the best and the worst positions are. And I also, yeah, sometimes behaved like a predator and changed seat just to improve my position on the fish. And yeah, some racks get very mad at you, but who cares? I mean, it's about the money and not about being fair. Not sure what happens if you do this live. Probably nothing, but never tried it in a live environment. And it's often also not needed to do, because basically most people at the table are fish, so it doesn't matter where you see it.
On nerd terms is that's the percentage of hands that somebody plays, PPIP. So if you're playing live poker on an online site that doesn't allow HUDs, that's fine. Just look for players that are playing, a lot of their hands. Like they're in there, it seems like they play at least 50% of their hands. Guaranteed that's a recreational player. So when you see a player like that, yes, you always want them on your table. Ideally, you want to get the seat to the left of them if there is any chance of that possible. If you can't do it, that's okay. Still sit at the table. I've talked about on my blog for many years and a couple of my books as well that I often go to the tables, especially online, where there's only a couple people seated, at a 6-max table, full ring, it doesn't matter. If there's only 3 players there and I spot a recreational player, there's going to be 6 other empty seats, and often one of the empty seats is the one right to the left of the recreational player. So why is this so important? By the way, it's often called the Jesus seat. Why is it so important? Because when you're on the left of any player in poker, you can literally turn on the money printer, because you're going.
Yeah, the money went from out of position to in position, basically. And if you have a very tough opponent to your left, you will feel like you're getting destroyed, and it is this way.
To have a direct position on them in every single hand except the one hand per orbit when you are in the small blind and they are on the button. But the vast majority of hands you have direct position on them. This is a massive, mathematically proven statistical advantage in poker. You're going to get to act after them on every single street. That's going to allow you to get more value when you have a big hand. It's going to allow you to see what they do first, and maybe you want to make a bluff because you already have that information. Maybe they're acting really strong and you believe them and you can fold and get away from your hand cheaper. I think you guys get the idea. When you have to act first in poker, you're always operating in the dark. You don't know what they're going to do.
Everyone knows what being in position means. You don't have to explain it in every single of your videos for like 3 minutes.
Do first, and therefore the person that is in position is always in the driver's seat in poker. And you put 2 equally skilled players at the same table and give one position over the other one in every single hand, the one who has the position is going to crush the equally skilled poker player over the long run. So I think you guys can already see where we're going here. We're looking for the weakest poker players at the table.
By the way, there is one exception to the rule that you want to be in position. If the fish is a maniac, it sometimes can be very good, or not very good, but still okay-ish or kind of good to be out of position, because then you can often trap, because the maniac will 3-bet and 4-bet and go very crazy a lot. And then you could like limp or overcall, and then the fish will make the 3-bet. Everyone at the table wants to play with the fish, so everyone calls, and then you can build a gigantic pot by coming in with the tricky play and then showing the real strength of your hand when you have got something and raise very big. So yeah, that's also something to keep in mind. But this only works against maniacs. The usual fish often is loose passive, and against them, it's bad to be out of position.
Poker players, and we're getting the best seat against them as well. We're trying to anyways, the seat directly to their left. If it's 2 seats to the left, 3 seats to the left, that's okay as well. I think you guys get the idea. Now what you want to do is you want to play tons of speculative hands versus these players. Now of course we're going to play all of our good hands, you know, ace king, you know, lots of nice suited connectors, jack 10 of diamonds or whatever, you know, suited aces, ace 3 of diamonds, something like that. You know, all of the regular hands that you play, absolutely. But you also want to add in a bunch of, you know, quote unquote trash for some people, but I don't call it trash. I call these speculative hands. Hands like, for example, the lovely 10-7 of hearts, the beautiful 9-6 of spades, or the always clever jack 4 of diamonds. Now,
yeah, I'm reviewing the whole internet. I mean, this title sounded very promising, but yeah, it's again, I think this dude only makes beginner videos. Also, although he sometimes, yeah, from Phil Galfond to him, it's a downgrade. I mean, I think it's beneficial for beginner players, but or yeah, for people who want to learn or who need some refreshment on the basics. But this guy seems to only make this type of totally beginner content.
Again, these are not hands that I'm typically playing against, you know, the regular good opponents that I already talked about. I'm playing these hands specifically to get in more pots against recreational players, especially when I have.
Yeah, I also think that his advice with the speculative hand is not that great, because I mean, I would try to isolate the fish a lot, but if you do it with speculative hands, speculative like he calls it, with bad hands like these, I mean, jack 4 of diamonds is just complete trash, and you should probably still fold it. And yeah, the regulars will also put at some point realize what you are doing if they are at least somewhat decent, and then they will start 3-betting you a ton. And yeah, these two gappers and complete trash suited hands don't do that well in my mind, especially if you also play the micro stacks like he does. I mean, the rake is very, very high, and yeah, these hands are crappy. Yeah, so that's not that great of an advice. But yeah, definitely try to be in position, try to isolate the fish a lot. I mean, by isolating, I mean 3-bet them, and then most of the other guys will be priced out of the pot, and you can play a lot of hands with the fish. So that's why you love to isolate. While when you just call, other people can get initiative by 3-betting and putting you in a bad spot, and you don't price them out. So yeah, 3-betting a lot more than against normal racks makes sense, especially because the range of the fish will also be way weaker than from normal tight opponents.
Position on them, and often if I'm just brand new to the table, I'm going to be raising them with the.
I mean, racks will also notice that at some point and adjust, but yeah, still, this should still be a very profitable strategy. But I would not recommend using the hands shown here. They should be a bit better, like 10-9 of hearts or something.
These hands, re-raising them in an attempt to put them on tilt, or at least just get involved in more hands. Because guys, how do you win against a recreational player? You don't win by folding pre-flop. You can't win in poker when you fold pre-flop. So you want to get involved in as many hands as possible, and believe me, when you're in,
so turn yourself into a recreational player by playing tons of hands against people who do the same, and then you're basically at one level. This is I don't like this advice. I mean, you can loosen up a bit, but not you shouldn't overdo it.
Position against a weaker player like this, you're going to be able to win more pots with these hands because you don't need to have the nuts. You know, often we know these players are going to call you down with bottom pair and stuff like that. So if you got the old Jack 4 of diamonds.
Yeah, but if you have Jack 4 of diamonds, you often also end up with bottom pair and are in the same shitty spot, not knowing what to do with your bottom pair.
And you nail the Jack on the flop, often you can get 2, sometimes even 3 streets of value.
Another problem with Jack 4 is if you hit the top pair, you will be outkicked every single time if someone else has a Jack. So I don't like that hand at all.
If they're on tilt. Let's move on to step number 3. So step number 3, continuing on with what I was just talking about, is to bet big for value. You want to do the majority of your bluffs in the beginning when they're going to give you the most credit, but once you get involved with them, hopefully you've, you know, irritated them a little bit at this point, but with all your constant raising and re-raising, now you've got them focused on you. Now they're, you know, trying to get back at you and so on. So now you want to transition your betting to simply value. What do I mean by value? I'm talking about hands where you have at least middle pair, top pair, maybe a pair plus a flush draw. I think you guys understand what I'm talking about. Made hands, stuff that has actual real showdown value. You're not trying to run big bluffs against them because we don't do that against players who are calling stations, who are going to, you know, call us down with anything.
Yeah, but against calling stations, it's also not good to play Jack 4 because this hand, a lot of value comes from bluffing their guys, and if you can't bluff a guy, you should just have better hand selection and on average make better hands and destroy them that way, and not by playing stupid bad hands like they do and try to. Yeah, I mean, you probably still could have an edge post flop, but yeah, I think it's not worth it, especially with the other guys on the table who will destroy you if you are in with such a weak range.
So what you want to do against these players is just simply hammer on them again and again. And honestly, guys, just watch the money pour in. I have used this strategy countless times at the poker tables over the years, and while it doesn't always work out in every single session, obviously recreational players are going to get lucky against you sometimes, the majority of the time the math.
We have another video of him, Poker Millionaire Tips. Most amateurs don't know about. I think that's probably a video with tips most amateurs even know about, like play in position. I mean, this looks like play in position. So basically all of his videos are the same. So we cannot use his videos anymore to review them because they are just too basic. And if you review 2 of them, you basically know what he's gonna say in every single video. Sorry for that, Black Rain, but yeah, don't do the same videos over and over again with just changing the title a bit. And also don't pretend to give pro tips if you just give people beginner's advice.
Is in my favor. I am in position against them, and I'm against a player who does not play a very optimal strategy, let's put it that way. And quite frankly, I get on their nerves. You know, I put them on tilt, and they often just start calling me down with their bottom pair, with their ace high.
Yeah, but I think still it's beneficial to people who just started playing poker. But it's sort of useless to everyone else who knows a bit about poker and how to play it.
And it's as simple as getting in there with some junky hand like Jack 4 suited, hitting your Jack and just winning pot after pot after pot. Guys, bottom line, there is no more profitable situation at the poker table than being on the left of a fish.
At least that is true. I mean, if you don't come a fish yourself then and play every single hand, then it's true.
A recreational player, and if you can get them on tilt, you can literally, you're like the Federal Reserve. You just turn on that money printer and it's just, you know, we're partying like it's 2019 again. So guys, honestly, it's a really simple strategy overall.
I wonder if this guy is still playing like micro stakes or something. He just has a bunch of affiliate links. No Twitch, and probably I wonder if he's even playing anymore. or if he's just making the YouTube
understand
stuff.
where the money comes from in poker, get on the left of the players where the money comes from in poker, and then bluff them a little bit in the beginning, try to get in there with as many hands as possible, and then just bet big for value. Still just get involved in as many pots against these players as possible. I know they're going to get lucky sometimes, and it is frustrating. You have to learn how to deal with that. I've got tons of mental game videos on this channel and in my books teaching you how to deal with that. But guys, bottom line, use this simple 3-step strategy, and I think you're going to start seeing much better poker results, much better poker winnings. If you guys want to see more poker strategy videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also shove all in on that like button below. And finally, I will leave a copy of my free poker cheat sheet that is called Massive Profit at the Micros. That'll be the top link in the description below. That'll give you my entire strategy to start beating all player types in all situations in small and mid-stakes games. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. This has been Nathan Williams with BlackRain79.com.
Bam. Okay, we got a graph of him. Oh, he's definitely having a very good hourly. He plays like 60,000 hands and makes 282 bucks. I mean, even if he plays a lot of tables, this hourly is a joke. Oh, 500k hands? So where did you find that graph? I think I'm on his homepage now. Maybe we can find another graph of him. This one maybe. Oh, but on higher stakes, he seems not to do less with that well, if it's his graph too. Might be the same guy. Yeah, I mean, if he's doing these things, I mean, this is just a waste of time to play micro stakes. I mean, you can play micro stakes, but you do it in order to get better and learn and move up in stakes. I mean, if you can go to McDonald's and work there and have like 4 times the hourly, why should you play poker? It's just ridiculous. I mean, okay, we unfortunately cannot watch this guy anymore, but yeah, I guess this video will be sort of helpful to beginner level players. But to be honest, we could sum it up in like 2 sentences and say, be in position of the bad guy and then play solid poker and destroy him. So that's basically what he said in this video. I mean, that's the essence. So 30 seconds would be enough. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. Thanks for watching. And yeah, I will also make a title that says that it is for beginner, because yeah, this is definitely not for advanced player. Yeah. Again, if you like it still, or maybe you're a beginner and this was very helpful, yeah, then like, subscribe, share, all the good things. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.